president's been shot. Oh no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering it. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump. Could just be his ear. It could just be his ear. He's walking.
40, 50 feet, why don't you turn around and let them get a view from there and see what the field of view looks like. You're backing into the cable. Okay. Turn around to your right, you better. I don't want to go into the sun if I can avoid it. That's right, Jim. Just leave it. Alright, let it sit like that and walk around it.
Okay, so this has been a fascinating piece of footage that came out recently by a rather fascinating character here of the brick suit guy, who I'd never heard of before this, but who kind of rose to prominence in the run-up to the 2020 election for wearing this brick suit that's supposedly a reference to, like, build the wall, the border wall. This guy who's been to a whole ton of Trump rallies and has been interviewed by all these outlets and was brought up on stage by Trump in 2019. And he's just supposedly some dude who lives in San Diego, you know, this major Trump fan, and just so happened to be in the front row at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, when the infamous near-death experience, the shooting, the assassination attempt a year ago, and then even more curiously just decides to post this footage just in July of this year, just like a week or two ago. And then apparently people started to notice this very odd behavior of one of the Secret Service guys who is guiding the photographers around the stage. And it's not just the Secret Service guy, there's at least two of them. This woman in the blue dress is doing it as well. So you have the very peculiar circumstances of this brick suit guy, and he's the one that you can hear in the video going, "Oh no, President Trump's been shot," and "Oh, maybe it's just his ear." Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers of weirdness just in this footage between his narration and then just the fact that he was there again. He has nothing better to do than just go to all these Trump rallies on the other side of the country from where he lives.
So at that point, I turned back and I looked towards the president on the podium, and I'm just catching a tail end of the Secret Service jumping on top of him to protect him. Now, from that point, that's when another series of shots rings out. And, you know, now I'm putting two and two together.
The other series was the guy firing on the crowd, and or
I don't know which it was, but there was a distinct second set of them. Okay. So, given the Secret Service's reaction and another set of cracks, you know, of noises, which we now know to be gunfire, you know, I thought, well, this is real. And it was at that point that people were saying, you know, other people were coming to that same conclusion, saying, get down, everybody get down. And, you know, I stood standing up for a little bit because I was more concerned with the safety of the president. I then did kneel down, but still continued to, you know, I just got a little lower and continued to watch as best I could see, you know, how the president was doing. I could not see him. He was completely obscured by the podium. Now, normally I wasn't filming any of this either. Normally I might film the president when he walks out, when they play, you know, his entrance music and he waves to the crowd and stuff like that. I might film that aspect of the rally. But once the president is speaking and I'm in the front row, I just put my camera away. Now, at that time I did take it out and thinking, well, I should really probably take some pictures here. And, you know, I started filming, and then I heard them saying, "Shoot her down," and "Let's get ready to move him." And I stood up because at that point I didn't think there was any more danger to myself. And I'm still, again, I'm more concerned with the safety of the president. And they're starting, so let's get ready to move him. There's a count, and I don't know how they're going to be moving him out. Are they going to be carrying him out?
You don't know his condition.
No, because we can't see anything. Right. So it could be like, I'm thinking it's going to be like a man carrier. Is he incapacitated? Can he leave on his own power? Nobody. I didn't know. The people in the back, they could probably see more than I could because they didn't have the podium in front. But then shortly after that, as I'm running through all those horrible worst case scenarios in my mind, he stands up, and I'm close enough. I can see the blood in his ear. I can tell it's not coming from like in his ear, so I know that. So it could just be a cut. And then before I can really even, that's good is what I'm thinking. And before I can even go anything more with that, I can see his face. I can see the fire in his face. I can see the defiance in his gaze and his gesture to the crowd to fight on, to put that fist up like that. I couldn't tell exactly what he was saying, but you could tell the tenor, what he was doing from that gesture. And that made me feel a lot better that it was not going to be a worst case scenario.
Okay, it's very odd. And I made a video about this last year called The Trauma Game. So on the one hand, it's like, wow, yeah, I don't know how anybody can look at this and not just be smacked right in the face by like how obvious it is that this is not what any of these people would be doing in a real life or death shooting scenario. Every single person in the crowd is reacting in a completely non-realistic or inauthentic way. Like, everyone just assumes that, like, oh, the shooter's down, so, like, most people wouldn't even hear that. But, like, why you would assume that there was only one shooter, and you'd be afraid of getting shot. And this is the whole thing, is that everyone wants to point to the firefighter guy who died, saving his family, and supposedly there were multiple people who got shot, but the only one who gets named is the one firefighter guy who supposedly died. But it's like, yeah, then why, if there was a dude in the stands just to the left, bleeding out, or he got shot, like, there would be a scene, there would be a commotion, people would be screaming. You can't even hear anybody screaming in this footage. But yeah, you can clearly see the guy directing him to the particular spot where you're going to get that money shot, and you have a very short window in terms of the flag being in the background. I mean, I was watching this going like, they may have actually rehearsed this before the crowd was there. Because, yeah, everybody on the stage, are we clear? Are we clear to move? Okay, wait, I got to get my shoe. And then he raises his face. I mean, the whole thing, this is the most staged thing I've seen in so long. I mean, it was a year ago, but now it's like... And watching Alex Jones try and explain this away was even more insane the other day on the Tim Dillon show.
There's a new video out that's viral everywhere about, look, on July 13th...
I just saw that, yes.
Yeah, on July 13th, you see the film crew being waved up after he's shot. It shows as a production. Well, anybody that's been in a presidential speech of Trump or Obama or any of them, which I've been to, or Bush, W, or any of them, I've been to all those, you have the Secret Service directing press up, directing press back. They tell you when you can be there, when you can't. He gets shot, he falls down, they wave him back. He pops back up, they let the press in. These are TV productions. So people seeing that production and then thinking, oh, it's fake. No, the whole thing is a production. But I know ballistics, I know rifles. They didn't have real people shooting at him, and then they just perfectly grazed his ear. Right. And you can't fake real like that. You can't fake the acoustics of another shooter or a guy getting killed or other people getting shot in the background. I mean, the greatest directors all fused together. Steven Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola,
anybody, right? Scorsese.
Nobody can do that. Nobody can, carry that out. That was real. His ear got grazed. The Democrats hold up the cartridges and the bullet and go, something this big hit you. No, it's this big. And when it grazes you, that's exactly what it does. And because, long story short, I got shot with a 22 caliber pellet gun when I was 11. And it hit my ear and bled a lot, but the hole was closing like a day. Just went right through the side. I had the same thing happen. A kid named Mike Hamby shot me. It was an accident. But the point is that my grandmother's ranch, the point is, no, that was real. And all the lawfare and all the indictments and the mug shot And the persecution I've gone through was real. And because of that failing and because of what happened, they're now trying to spin that and make it go away. But people then see, oh, they push the media back. Well, if you go to any debate or presidential deal, they tell the media come forward, they tell them come back. And then once Trump pops back up, they're like, okay, he's okay, you can come back forward, because they're producers, they're filmmakers that run this, that are trying to get iconic shots for videos or put out for Trump. And so they all see him shot, they get scared and run back. Then he pops back up, it's normal, okay, they creep back up, bring the cameras back up. You got a bunch of Pulitzer Prize winning photographers there, but they've got to do what the Secret Service says. So people go, oh, that's a production. Well, when Trump goes to the NFL game or the World Cup game, that's a production. Doesn't mean the game didn't play. Doesn't mean it wasn't real. So yeah, it is a production, but it's a production that is of a real event that's happening.
Just absolutely absurd. What do you mean they're doing their job? What do you mean it's real even though it's a production? Why would you be trying to get a photo if you were really... I don't know. I think that has probably been the most fascinating part of this, is seeing people refuse to believe their lying eyes, and they'll come up with whatever, they'll explain it away. Why would the Secret... He's not trying to keep them away from the stage. He's literally guiding them to the right spot. There's no other way to look at this. And of course, the reason that people don't want to see what is plainly obvious is that there's no other conclusion to reach than this whole thing was staged from the beginning, and it was not the Democrat deep state trying to take out Trump, or it wasn't the incompetence of the female, there's no partisan angle. It's like, it's all an act. It's all fake. And then the craziest part is that, he went on to the Republican convention a few days later and put on this big show about, how God saved his life. I mean, talk about blaspheming God. And I think people just can't bring themselves to believe that he would. I mean, the Democrat, the people who hate Trump can believe it's staged. But then, of course, it's like only Trump would do that. Then the point is that they all know it is no different on the other side of the aisle. I don't know. It was kind of driven home later on this week. Just today, I watched the speech he gave at the AI summit and, signed a few executive orders about the race for AI superiority and trying to attach, America first ideology to artificial intelligence. And it was kind of astounding.
To ensure America maintains the world-class infrastructure we need to win today, I will sign a sweeping executive order to fast-track federal permitting, streamline reviews, and do everything possible to expedite construction of all major AI infrastructure projects. And this will be done. You will get so good a service in so many ways, not only from Lee with the environment, but you need many other types of permits, and you're going to go so fast. You're going to say, well, wait a minute, this is too fast. I didn't expect to go this quickly. This is a problem. I may cause a problem in opposite, but including factories, data centers, and power plants of all kinds, the United States will have total industrial and technological supremacy. The second pillar of our action plan for AI dominance is to get the entire world running on the backbone of American technology, and I think that's very much happening right now, and I think it's going to happen. We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI. We invented everything. Does anyone have anything else to say? And now we're going to take it to a new level. But Americans were the first to fly a plane, first to harness the atom, and first to plant our flag on the moon. We mastered the industrial age, we created the digital age, and now we are leading the world into the golden age, indeed, the golden age of America. With your help, that golden age will be built by American workers. It will be powered by American energy. It will be run on American technology, improved by American artificial intelligence, and it will make America richer, stronger, greater, freer, and more powerful than ever before.
But this is really what he was brought in to do. It's becoming quite apparent, is to sell the part of the public that would be traditionally more critical of this whole agenda and the obvious threat to freedoms that this technocracy, this AI stablecoin agenda, I mean, it's right on our doorstep. And yeah, this is why I think all the Epstein stuff is just being allowed to swirl around to consume everyone's attention and emotion, is that there's nothing left. Like AI, you know, people have been warning about it for years, and I think people are just so kind of numb to it and bored with it that, like, whatever, what you gonna do? Like, it's an inevitability. And that's the message that he's preaching here, is that it's like, well, it's happening, it's here whether you want it or not. And so we might as well, you know, be number one. We might as well use it to make America great again and bring back prosperity and bring back jobs and bring back all this stuff. And even though he's already broken every campaign promise that he made 6 months ago, never mentioned AI during the whole campaign. No, this is the golden age, man. This is the whole pitch. But yeah, a lot of people were pulled in by this stunt in Butler, Pennsylvania. And a lot of people saw it as like a divine intervention. He's certainly better than Kamala Harris and all this stuff, right? And I don't think he's the Antichrist, but he's certainly an Antichrist. I think that much is kind of not even up for dispute in my book. As a false messiah, he's a false prophet. Absolutely. He's a Pied Piper to the algorithm ghetto, the algocracy, whatever you want to call it. The beast system. I mean, it's crazy even having been talking about this for so many years and then listening to the speech today, and it's like, it's still surreal that it's like happening. It's still kind of hard to even process that this is now and real and being rolled out. And that, like, yeah, there's a few people that I tried to send this footage to, being the brick suit footage, and they didn't even want to look at it because it was like, oh, it's AI. They didn't even believe me. They won't even look. And that's the thing now, is that, like, well, okay, fair enough. Like, yeah, this could be AI. But everything could be AI. Alex Jones, I was watching Alex Jones on Tim Dillon going, it kind of looks AI to me. Especially his suit and, like, just the coloring and the weird, I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's even really him, or even really a human at all. But that's the uncanny valley that we exist in now already. But yeah, AI is gonna bring in the new golden age, right? Good grief. And what I keep wondering about with all this Epstein drama, because yeah, even if they do put out a list or put out something, you know, and implicate everybody on both sides, that in some way or another it's just going to implode the whole fake two-party system that more and more people are seeing through. I mean, we've already got Joe Rogan, who is the new mainstream media now. Joe Rogan talking about, we need AI government.
About this? Are you not worried about the fact that AI could become more intelligent than us? What is it going to be like when we're not the smartest things on the planet, which
Right.
might be just a few years from
Yeah.
now? And I might be quite relieved, because I'm not sure they could fuck it up at the level
Right.
that we're fucking it up. You know, so it's...
You would
I
have
don't
to
know.
give it legitimate sentience. Like, it would have to be completely independent from any ideology, and it would have to look at things completely objectively. But imagine a government that is run that way. Like, really run in a way where there is an actual distribution of resources for all the human beings on the planet, so poverty is instantaneously eradicated. You give electricity and clean water to everyone on Earth immediately. Immediately, we figure out how to distribute healthy food. Immediately, all the toxins and preservatives that have been giving people cancer, immediately they're removed from the human diet. They immediately make sure that we have no polluting of rivers, that we're not draining all the fish out of the ocean. Immediately change all of the treaties about nuclear weapons. All the nuclear weapons got to go. This
Well, I imagine
AI
they would
government just runs over
I imagine they'd
everything.
say
No more
that immediately.
dictators. Yeah.
You know,
No more dictators.
Not even that.
Cut the shit with the dictator. We're just going to let human beings exist in harmony, guided by this super intelligent, godlike thing that we've created out of silicone.
Yeah, honestly, I've had the same thought. And
That's
thought,
the utopian view.
Yeah, and so I have thought, how could it be worse? In fact, it could be significantly better.
Basic of a script as that sounds, to me that makes more sense than anything. Like why this is all happening in the timing that it is. Even if Trump goes down or finishes out his term or whatever, and then just JD Vance takes over, then we already know what he's straight out of the PayPal mafia. He's straight out of the tech bro AI governance, cabal. So it's who knows, but the money shot. They got the money shot, and now it's hanging on the wall in the White House.
President is shot. Oh no. He's out of there cover. We don't know. He's out of there cover.
He stands up, and I'm close enough. I can see the blood in his ear. I can tell it's not coming from like in his ear, so I know that. So it could just be a cut. And then before I can even, that's good is what I'm thinking. And before I can even go into that, I can see his face. I can see the fire in his face. I can see the defiance in his gaze and his gesture to the crowd to fight on, put that fist up like that.
Fire in his face. You see the defiance in his gaze and his gesture to the crowd just to fight on, put that fist up like that.
Just went right through the side. I had the same thing happen. A kid named Mike Hamby shot me. It was an accident.